Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paul. It's a great pleasure once again to be with you this evening and to see all the many familiar faces. But I definitely also want to welcome our new distributors, maybe who joined us in the course of August or in these first weeks of September. A warm welcome, and I hope that you are going to enjoy your evening with us. We are, of course, going to have recognition, as Paul has said. And as you know, our business, we have an opportunity to head for new goals every month. So today, as you will have seen in your invite, my topic is successful aging. And I'm speaking to young people. Everyone in our business is young at heart because our business gives us a new opportunity every day, and every month we start afresh, which keeps us young and full of energy and ready to go. So as you know, our continent is well known for not having a lot of good health services. And it is only in recent years that we have had an increase in life expectancy. But this is improving, and we know that in Africa, our life expectancy has been increased. And that means that we will generally, on average, expect to live longer than our parents or our grandparents, which is a good thing. But it also means that we have got more time, and we need to think how we want to live that more time. The problem normally is that what we find, and I'm sure all of us who are in the business, we have come across people who have developed illnesses, which is making their middle years or their late years quite distressing, because they spend most of their time looking for medical help, looking for ways to turn back to good health. So when we think about our Neolife business, I want to encourage you to remember that our aim is not only in terms of lifespan, but also in health span. During our lifetime, how much of our life will we be well enough to enjoy the life that we have? And that is why we do what we do. That is why our business does all the research it does to maintain good health for us. And what causes aging exactly? I know there is an entire science whose aim is to find out more and more about how to prevent or slow down aging. And so far, just to be brief, is to say that what has been found to be linked with aging is that our cells reach a certain stage, and then they lose the ability to grow and the ability to divide. And once that happens to a lot of our cells, we notice the deterioration in our bodies, and we see that we start losing the many capacities we have when we are still young. So this process usually happens as a result of damage to our DNA. And this damage can be caused by various things, including the things we are always talking about, things like cigarette smoking, things like different drugs that might be abused, things like excessive exposure to sunshine. We know we can see sometimes that it does damage to our skin. But we also know that the sun is very important for our health, because we know it helps us to manufacture some very important vitamin that is called vitamin D. So this damage to our DNA leads our cells to lose the ability to keep on growing and also to multiply. And that is when we say that a person is aging. But as I've said, in our Neolife business, we have got the answer to make sure that while we are alive, we are really living, not just surviving or existing. We are really living. But now I want to turn my attention to which are the areas of concern when we are talking about aging and aging successfully. There are a number of them, but I'm going to restrict myself to 4 of the main ones, because I think that we can't cover everything, but it's good to have some ideas and also a place for you to start to find more information. So the first and probably the most crucial one is our brains. And we know that as time passes, Maybe you may notice your mom or your granny tends to forget this or that. Maybe she might struggle to find her keys where she kept them, or she might struggle to remember names and so on. So we know that one of the places where we might notice aging is in our brains. And this is, of course, very distressing because we know a large part of our life and our personality is linked to the ability of our brains to be sharp and to work well. And obviously, we know that this is true also of our being able to work and being able to enjoy our lives itself. So the brain, I think, would be at number one as an area of concern to slow down or prevent aging. The other one is our immunity. You may have noticed that as we grow older, as people grow older, they might be less able to bounce back from illness or to resist certain illnesses. And we know after the experiences we have had with COVID that the older people are very much in a dangerous position for this pandemic. So the immunity also becomes old, and we should take care to make sure that our immunity remains vibrant. Then the third one is our bones and joints. This is another area where we can see as someone grows older, the bones might be weaker and they may have tendencies of broken bones, and joints might not be working very well, so that flexibility and even mobility can be reduced. Then we also have problems related to muscles and balance, so that muscles may become smaller and weaker, and the sense of balance might be lost, so that you see as a person becomes older, they may have the tendency to fall down or to miss their step. And then the final one I wanted to include here is also in our looks. So the skin might change, and the general appearance, let's say the ability to walk upright and with an elegant gait, can be reduced. So these are some of the areas of concern for aging. And we will see shortly that as Neolife distributors, we've got a gold mine of help for making sure that the aging process that does not rob us of our abilities in the areas that I've mentioned and other areas as well. But before I go to the products, I wanted to mention a few things that are related to our lifestyle, because remember, in our business, we're always talking about lifestyle. Our business is a business that allows us to have a really good lifestyle, because as a self-employed person, you are going to be master of your own destiny. And at the same time, you will also be able, through your success, to have the lifestyle that you want. So our business is quite important in that. But we also need to understand that some of the illnesses that come as a result of the years going by are related to the lifestyle that we lead. And for that reason, it's always important to know which lifestyle measures we should take to protect our health. Because we do sell nutritional supplements, but they supplement what we are already doing in our lifestyle itself. So we know, and we have spoken on very many occasions about eating healthy, natural foods, because they are the ones which agree with our systems and how our system works. When we use foods that are not good for us, processed foods, foods full of chemical additives, and so on, we find that this can aggravate our systems. And of course, when we aggravate our systems, it's like when we put the wrong fuel in a car. If you've got a petrol-driven car and you put diesel in it, you are not going to have a good ride because you have the wrong fuel. And that is what happens when we decide to neglect to take care of the kind of foods that we ingest, of the lifestyle that we lead. So a healthy diet is important. We, of course, have also mentioned on many occasions the importance of exercise. We know that moderate exercise is very crucial for our well-being, because we evolved as moving creatures. We are not like trees, which once you have been planted, you stay there until the day you die. We are supposed to be moving, and we have evolved to move. And so although we can do many things while sitting down in one place today, for example, many of us have jobs which we can do just from a sitting position. And we know that now with the internet, we can even travel all around the world in the course of 1 hour because the World Wide Web makes this possible. But that does not change the fact that our physical bodies are evolved to move about. And therefore, movement and exercise is always an important aspect of keeping away aging. Because I think we've mentioned when we are talking about joints, that our joints receive the nourishment they need when we are in movement. So if we are not moving, then the circulation that brings us fresh supplies to our joints, our bones, and all our systems will not be working well. So moderate exercise is very important. And then the things that sometimes we don't mention so much is the importance of avoiding loneliness. And here is where I wanted to speak a bit more about our business. Remember that in our business, we deal with people. We often talk about statistics, but the statistics are actually people. Each PV that goes through our number, our ID, or each PV that goes through our account represents a product, and that product is used by a person. So in other words, our business is a business to do with people. And by dealing with people every day, we get challenged mentally and sometimes physically. Because in order for you to think about your business, in order for you to support your distributors, in order for you to educate your customers, you are always having opportunities to use your head and to use your brain. And in that way, you are always improving yourself as a person. So spending time alone and being unwilling to be in the company of other people actually denies us opportunities to retain many of these abilities, like our mental abilities will be reduced if we don't challenge ourselves by being in the company of people. In our business, we know we need new people in the business, which means we always have to learn to speak to strangers sometimes. We need to learn how to speak to people. We need to be sensitive to their needs. We need to listen. So all these are ways of challenging our intellectual capacities. In addition to that, of course, spending time with people rather than being alone also means that we learn to support them, and we also learn to show them how to support us. So it's a two-way thing. So people are very important in avoiding aging. And I think especially in our business now, one way for all of us, especially the older distributors such as myself, it is very great when you have got young, new people in your business because they refresh your mind. They have a different way of thinking. Sometimes you may find it a bit irritating or challenging, but it's good to embrace this because they bring a new energy to your business. So another way of keeping young is spending time with young people, trying to see things in the way that they see it. Sometimes, of course, we tend to just think that an older person, of course, in our African culture, we always respect our elders and we respect the wisdom that they bring. But we know that the young people also bring a lot to the table. And one of the things they help us with is they help us to see the world with different eyes, with fresher eyes, with eyes full of hope and energy. So for that reason, one of the ways that we need to take care of the process of aging successfully is to have young people in our lives, to have new people in our lives, so that we are constantly being challenged, because human beings are made to relate to other human beings. We don't reach our full potential on our own. And so let us think about this, whether you are young or you are old. I think this is something that is very relevant, that the young people sometimes tend to be very, very, very invested in meeting people online and living the virtual life. This has got its benefits, but at the same time, there's benefit in meeting actual human beings. Unfortunately, as a result of some of the COVID restrictions, we have become very reliant and dependent on Zoom, which is good because it has helped us in many ways to continue building our business during the lockdowns and so on. But as things become relaxed and we are able to go out and meet others, I think this will be a very good opportunity for us to once again be with other people and relate to other people and welcome and embrace the challenges that are involved with meeting other people. We have spent many of the countries we live in who are on this call, maybe you may have had different degrees of lockdowns, but I think in general, the lockdowns are easing off. And so I think this is a time in which we can start to brush up and start thinking of being more out there as the situation allows. Then, of course, there are the family relations. These are our close relations. These ones help also because we don't only relate with people out there as part of our work in the business, but also people in our homes. Because for many of us, we start the business in order to support ourselves or to support our families, our children, and to be able to provide for them. So if we are working to, let's say, raise a family, and we want to make money in order to make this possible, we should not forget that part of raising a family is building the good relations with them. And this helps us to stay young, because I'm sure you have seen when a grandfather is with his grandchild, he can have a very exciting time, and it's an opportunity for him to maybe tell stories and reminisce and so on. So family relations are very important in successful aging, and we should not neglect them. Then finally, I wanted to speak about a sense of purpose. One of the things that we lose as we grow older is the feeling that we are needed or that we have got a role to play. This might be as a result of what is going on in our lives or our life situation or family situation, where we might be made to feel unnecessary. But I think this is an area in which we should not allow others to dictate to us. It is up to each one of us to decide that we still have something to contribute, whether we are young or we are older. I think it is important for us to always spend some time thinking, how can I contribute to the world? And in our business, there is always an opportunity to do so. We have just started the month of September. And this is another month in which there are people out there maybe who have lost their jobs as a result of the pandemic. There are people who have finished their education and do not have employment. There are people in all kinds of situations who are waiting for our Neolife message. You may think that you don't know all these people, but if you think about it, actually you may come up with a list of people whom you could approach with our business. And when you do that, you are serving a purpose. You are making our continent less poor and having more opportunity. So you are the one who is in a position to decide whether your purpose is over or you still have a purpose. The importance of having a purpose is that it's what makes you get up and go do something. Our Neolife business still has got very many people to reach. We need to go out and reach people, and we need to make that our purpose and to be at work in it, because it is a good business and we've got wonderful products which are very much needed in our continent. So that is a point I wanted to finish with in our personal capacity, how to ensure that our lifestyle is supporting successful aging. Now, let me turn my attention to our Neolife products and how we can support your health span. As I said, the health span is a part of your life in which you are still healthy and able to enjoy the life you have. And the aim of our Neolife products is to make sure that we are all healthy and well until the day that we are no longer in this world. So, of course, we know, most of us who have been in the business for a while or even still very new, that our utmost foundation of nutrition is treonine, our grain oils, because this is the product that ensures that we benefit from all the other things that we do. So treonine is the absolute foundation, the baseline. But if we want to go just above the base, we have Pro-Vitality, which is also a base, but it is a broader base. So if a person, let's say, is on a very tight budget, treonine at the very least, and then above that, we have Pro-Vitality, which is optimal supplementation. It gives us omega-3, it gives us a carotenoid complex, it gives us multi, and it gives us treonine. So this Pro-Vitality and treonine are our foundation supplements, which we should use throughout our lives. So whether you are very new and very young and everything is working fine with your health, 3NN or Pro-Vitality are going to be extremely useful for making sure that your body continues to have what it needs to keep on maintaining health. Then as we move on, then in the middle years, I wanted to mention a few products that will become of greater importance. For ladies especially, we know that middle-aged ladies have should take care to have adequate amounts of calcium because they have that tendency of losing bone density. So CalMag or multimineral becomes very important supplements as the ladies grow older, but even in their childbearing years, we have spoken about this on other occasions, that CalMag or multimineral are very, very important for growing children and for expectant ladies, but also for older ladies as they have finished maybe their childbearing years and they're moving towards menopause. Then on the gent side, I want to put there chelated zinc, which is very important in very many processes. But in this case, I'm especially thinking that zinc is very supportive of the masculine system. It supports their sex hormones. It supports their ability to carry on in their masculine sense. And so zinc becomes very, very important. In addition to that, we have cruciferous, and this is especially important for middle-aged men because that is when there might start to be problems related to the prostate gland, with which probably we are familiar because we mention it fairly often. So cruciferous plus is an important addition to the supplementation of middle-aged people, especially the middle-aged men, for the sake of that tendency to start developing problems related to the prostate gland. So this means that in addition to 3NN or Pro-Vitality, we can add CalMag or multimineral for ladies, and then zinc and cruciferous plus for the gents. And this will make sure that you target the problems that will be coming, even though it's not because of any particular serious illness, but because there is a tendency for the body to need those supplements more as time goes by. Then in the elder years, let's say we are talking about the 55 and plus, as now we become the elders, we start having certain needs that can come to the fore. The first one is the supplement to support our joint mobility and flexibility, and this is full motion, which is very important because we know as those ages come, we may start noticing that some of the things that we were easily able to do, like bend over and touch our toes, might become a bit more difficult, or to turn around quickly might become not as easy as it used to be. So full motion is very important in this stage. We also find that vitamin A plus D plays an important role, especially in supporting the skin. And especially if someone is not exposed to plenty of sunshine, then it might be necessary to supplement vitamin D because we know that this vitamin, both A and D, have got a lot of functions that they perform. So A and D is an important supplement for those above 55. And that is just specifically to support the skin because the skin starts showing some of the age. But of course, we know that on the surface, we can use the nutrients range, but on the inside, vitamin A plus D will play a role. Then another one I like to add here is vitamin C, because vitamin C supports our immune system very well and helps in the healing of tissues and in the formation of collagen. I have often been asked about collagen, and I know that there is a craze about collagen going on in the internet. Unfortunately, today I shall not have time to answer questions. Maybe I shall bring it up next time. But vitamin C is involved in the formation of collagen in the body. So it's not just a matter of taking your NutriShake. You also need to have the vitamin C because they will work together. We also know that vitamin C is currently playing a very important role in protecting us from the pandemic. Then I want to add there vitamin B complex, which is important for energy production in case those of us who are age 55 plus might be struggling a little bit on the energy side. Vitamin B complex is very good for this. It also plays a role in the skin, the youthfulness and suppleness of the skin, and it keeps us it keeps depression away, just in case we are still starting to feel that our moods are not where they should be. Vitamin B can help there. And finally, of course, there is mind enhancement formula, which is a herbal preparation that is very good for making sure that our brains continue to be sharp and we continue to perform at a high level so that we can do what we need to do with the time that we still have. As I said, nutrients, the nutrients range for personal care as well as the nutrients organic for skin care is an important part of successful aging, because at whatever age we are, we want to look good, and we need to make sure that we do so by our personal grooming. But just to finish off is to say that in Neolife, we don't focus only on the surface. We work on the inside as well as the outside. There is no point in having a body that looks young and meanwhile your mind is gone, or you do not have the energy to go out there and do interesting things. Of course, another way to keep young is to keep on doing interesting things. And I have to say that our business is always interesting because we are always meeting interesting new situations. We are always meeting interesting new people. So another way to keep young is to do our business. And since today we are going to have a very full program, I want to leave you there, but I want to encourage you very much to go out there and make sure that you take care of your own health so that your body is able to serve you for as long as you are here on earth, but also to go and share the message with others and make sure that your friends are going to be there with you. Because imagine if you live to be a very active young man of 90, but all your friends are old and cannot get out of bed, then you're going to be very lonely. So I advise you to go out and sponsor all your friends so you can all enjoy doing the business and being healthy together for many, many years to come. So let me hand you over to Pascal and Paul, who are going to lead us forward in the recognition, and also allow me to wish you all the best in the month of September. Let's go out there and really send out the message of what we can do with the business that we have and with the great products that we are making available to everyone we meet. Thank you very much. Here is Pascal now.